Good evening and welcome to the captain's cabin. Wow, my voice was a little froggy there and I didn't check it before I started. Welcome to the cabin, and this is where we do the captain's log. And those of you who are watching may look at me and say, "Wow, Wyatt, whatever are you wearing?" Well, this is my captain's shirt. Some of you who are old like me and fans of the original Star Trek may recognize this shirt. Um, this is one of Captain Kirk's little V-neck sweaters, and it's all they had to have dressers put them in these things because this thing is a little wonky. It's the one with the wraparound here. It's got the little wraparound belt on it here, like you see here. The wraparound strap, and it comes around with the insignia. Yeah, that's that one. So I thought I would put that on. That's been in my closet for 2 years. Thank you to Russ Haslage of Star Trek, and was a gift to me. And so here is I'm looking very Kirky, says Steve. Thank you very much. And so I usually don't do a lot of babble before we get into the log for tonight, but I thought I would let you all know I've got my Captain Kirk original series little sweater on that he always wore. And it sits funny on me, but we'll get that fixed one of these days. It was a last minute thought because I found it in my closet. Was talking to a friend on Saturday over in Scotland, and she said, "You should wear that on the next captain's log." So, well, here it is. So, let's get rolling here tonight. And hey, Leslie Hoker and Field Guy, good to see you. He's watching the Star Trek channel right now. We'll talk about that a little bit afterwards. Hey, Josh Kemp, good to see you. And I think I saw Barbie D and Mantic Steve. So good to have you in here. So here we go. Tonight's captain's log. This is going to be something that is, I will admittedly say that it's very personal. It's very raw because I use myself as an example to try to get a general message across for all of us that we all can use. And so while I go through this tonight, what we're doing is this culmination episode of the 5-episode arc that I started last week. And it's not triumph, it's integration. And the arc that we've been walking completes itself here. It's not with answers, but with ownership. And so what follows here speaks to anyone who is in that long night. And while using myself, in a sense, as the lantern bearer, not a confession booth. And so we're going to talk about this now. The episode 5 of this arc in the captain's log is The Long Watch. And it's resolve without retreat. And there's going to be moments at sea, metaphorically, that don't announce themselves with storms. There's no thunder. There's no broken mast. There's no cinematic chaos. Just a flat horizon. The wind goes slack. The sails hang like tired flags. It's called the doldrums. And that's where I've been these last few days. It's not that I don't have friends and people I care about and people who care about me. But that's where I've been the last few days. I'm not broken, but I am wounded. I'm not raging. I'm just heavy. And I have felt it the last few days for some reason. Revelations that have come to me in the last week, things that pull at my heart, the hopes that you hold out for that may contradict where you're supposed to be, but those hopes are the things that guide you. And in the last few days, they've been they felt shattered. And the danger of being in the doldrums isn't despair, it's drift. The quiet temptation to let the ship move without you at the helm doing anything. So tonight's log is not about rescue, it's about the long watch. The watch you stand when the person, okay, I want you to apply this to yourselves because this is very pointed. It's the watch you stand when the person you love is no longer beside you on the deck. When the future you planned no longer answers your signals. When hope exists, but it no longer obeys your schedule. So there's a particular grief that comes with loving someone who is still alive, still breathing, still somewhere under the same sky, but no longer with you. It's a grief that is without ceremony. There's no funeral, there's no closure, there's just absence. And the mind tries to solve it. And this is where I want you to bring this over into your own situations, be it romance, be it a relationship, be it familial things and other things in our lives. The mind tries to solve these things that are absent. And if I say the right thing, or if I stay close but not too close, if I withdraw but not disappear, if I wait, if I don't wait. But the long watch teaches a much harder truth than that. Some passages cannot be navigated by tactics. They can only be endured with dignity. So this final leg of the arc isn't about pursuit. It's not about retreat. It's about sovereignty of the soul. It's standing at your post without begging the sea to change. Because here's what I'm learning slowly, painfully, honestly. Love does not require self-erasure. Hope does not require self-abandonment. And waiting, true waiting, is not passive. True waiting is active restraint. Catch that? True waiting is not self-erasure, it's not self-abandonment, it's not passive, it's active restraint. It's choosing not to chase ghosts or wrestle tides. It's choosing not to collapse into bitterness or performance. It's choosing not to cancel out those around us. But it's choosing to become steady. And steadiness does something remarkable. It changes the air around you. Not as manipulation, not as strategy, but as consequence. Because when you stop trying to force outcomes, you stop bleeding into the water. And sometimes, whether reconciliation comes or you move on into something new and different, that alone saves the ship. When you stop trying to force an outcome, stop bleeding into the water. Now, this arc of 5 episodes I've done started with pain, moved through, excuse me, it's just spit. It says I'm enunciating correctly. It began with pain, it moved through restraint, it taught sovereignty, and now it ends with release without retreat. I'm not running, I'm not pursuing. I am holding my line. And if the wind returns, I'll be ready. If it doesn't, I'll still be standing. That is the long watch. And tonight, captains, all of you, if you're standing too, you're not failing. You're becoming seaworthy again. The word is given on that. So, I have some affirmations. And again, pardon my coughing, that's still all that tracheal stuff that's not fully taken care of. So, affirmations. I do not chase what must choose me freely. Get that? I do not chase what must choose me freely. I do not abandon myself to prove my worth. I can love deeply without losing command of my ship. I honor hope without surrendering my center. And I'm steady, even when the sea is not. So here's the benediction. May you stand your watch without bitterness. May you wait without shrinking. May the winds that return find you whole, and the winds that do not still find you unbroken. So go gently tonight. You've earned the quiet. And stay the course. Now, if you are here, we're going to stick around for a while, as we've been doing, and we're going to spend a little time, as much as you want, here in the captain's cabin. Hey, Steph, good to see you. Why, thank you. You are our captain. And Gypsy is here. Good to see you. Susie Q is here. Good to see you, Susie Q. And haven't seen you for a long time. Scott Allen is here. Good to see you, brother. And again, Saromantic Steve and Josh Kemp and Barbie D is here. Elder Barry is here. Good to see you. Josh Kemp, I already said Josh Kemp name, so never mind. Roger Rabbit is here. Roger. Jay here is here. And who else we got in here tonight? I'm happy to see you all here. That means a lot to me. And Field Guy is here. He's way up at the top. And who else we got? Anybody I missed? If I missed you, you're over here in the chat room. It's good to see you here. Anybody else out there, if you're watching via Facebook or you're watching via Instagram or some other place, come on over. And Instagram, I never got started, so I don't think they saw anything over there. So just we did Facebook and YouTube tonight. So let me give you a link. Yes, this is your time. I'm going to copy this link, put it into the chat room, and you can call into the show if you'd like. And I can bring you up, or you can just do sound only if you don't want to put your face up here. And but you can call into the show. And we'll spend as much time as you want to be here tonight. And we'll leave when we're ready to go. So restraint, like handcuffs and zip ties, says Steph. You know, Steph, if that's what you're into. I do have zip ties here somewhere. So, and I got handcuffs somewhere. Maybe my kids have those now. But for those of you who had not noticed, and I mentioned it at the very beginning, tonight I am wearing my. Why does a line come to my mind? It had to be in Tombstone with Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday. Wyatt, whatever are you wearing? I think that was one of his lines. And you may look at me and go, whatever, Scotty, whatever are you wearing? Well, this is my Captain Kirk little sweater that he wore from the original series back in the 60s. And I was trying it on the other night on camera with a friend from Scotland. And she said, you need to wear that on the show, the next show you do. And I was trying it on because it was in my closet when it was first given to me by Russ Hasledge of Star Trek. It was a little too tight. It fit in the shoulders, but I could not fit it around my fat belly. And so I tried it on the other night, and it was pretty good. I hadn't tried it on in almost 2 years, but here, I'll show you. You can see. Fits a little better. It's wonky because it pulls down, and there's all this Velcro that you got to stick to, so you got to get it all lined up right. I'm sure they had dressers that would help them with these uniforms, but and it's got the little sash thing that wraps all the way around, and the insignia there. So it fits all right, you know. There it is, and you sit down. You gotta do the thing, which became the Picard thing in the later series. But so it's sitting kind of wonky on me, but it fits, which is nice. And so there you go. One night we'll have to have all of us dress up in our Star Trek uniforms. Steph says, I'll have to look-see later. I'll give you a look-see later, Steph. What, can you not see the camera tonight? Or the video? Or you're not watching the video? Dan Madsen is here. He says, you're looking like the good captain there tonight. Just had a great Zoom call with Shatner yesterday, working on a huge new project with him. Dan, I'm going to have to talk to you about that. Remember that interview I wanted to do? Back in 2011 or 12? I may want to talk with you about that again and see what those possibilities are. So I won't do it here live, but just letting you know. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, this is my. It only fits a little funny because I can't get all the Velcros lined up, and so it gaps and does things like that. So, so you're gonna have to tell us about Dan. I'm gonna have to have you come on. You can either come on now or some other night and tell us about this new project you're working on. So that would be fantastic. Randall Flagg is here. Good to see you, Randall Flagg. Wow, this is like old times with everybody showing up. So, see, I don't like this billowing gap here. But that's because there's Velcro that you have to use. And I think you just have to stand in front of the mirror and just get it all lined up right. And the Velcro can kind of go where it's, see, it's kind of funky. So I gotta get that fixed. I gotta figure out how to make that work or just line it up just right. So there you go. Steph, it is kind of like old times. So that's kind of neat. So who's going to call in? Who wants to call in and talk? Here is that link again. Boom. Right there. So come on in. And the only reason I'm wearing the cap again tonight So I didn't want the bald head to glare your eyes out. So I'm bald. I'm not sick. For those of you who don't know, I did this a couple of weeks ago. And because um, my hair's been thinning for a long time, and I had threatened 5 years ago to shave it all. I said, I'm just going to shave my head. And Rainey was like, don't you dare. And then I thought, it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. I'm just going to take it off. Hey, Angel, good to see you. So, so I took it all off. And Rainey shaved my head, and Ellery helped. She wanted to do it. They shaved it all off a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't because, emotional things. Some people do weird things. I'm going to shave my head because I'm having an emotional crisis. No, it wasn't that. It was something I'd talked about doing for a long time, and I thought, I just need to take it off. It's so thin up here, and I couldn't style it. I couldn't do anything with it, so I just cut it off. Hey, Angel, thank you. He says, love you, brother. Welcome to the Bald-Headed Club. So I finally took it off. Now it's been about 2 weeks since I originally cut it off. And it grew back a little bit, all stubbly. And I thought, now I'm going to shave it down again. Yeah, I'm in my Britney phase. There you go, Scotty A. And so it's a little stubbly now. I'm going to go down to they open up kind of a new barbershop men cave around here, and I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to have them do the straight edge razor on it, just take her all down, and then you got to put a little like tanning stuff on it, so your head doesn't look incredibly white compared to the rest of your skin color, because it's been covered with hair. So, but this it was miraculous. It was still already tan up there from the summer. That's how thin my hair was. So if it's a surprise to anybody, Josh is going to come on and talk about, let's see. Josh is going to come on, says Barbie D, and talk with you about something he's going through with his wife. Okay. Come on in, Josh. Not sure I can offer you anything good, but we can talk about it. Angel says, when my brother started balding at 27, he would cry about it. Had an afro and would laugh. I had an afro and would laugh. He said one day I'd be crying about it. LOL, I never did. I laughed at 34, my hair started falling, and I did what I told my brother, and it just went bald. Well, I will tell you this too. I was starting to thin on top 10 years ago. You can see pictures of me from 3 years ago and not know it, though. I had the big swooping kind of longer hair there, but it was really thin up here. And then I had a year ago, I had the intubation. Where's my cat? Yeah, I hear him clawing on something nearby. I was intubated and put on a ventilator. What are you doing in there? He's in the bathroom. He can sit in there. Josh Kemp is in the studio. I'll grab you in a second, Josh. And so I was told that after having been intubated, that your hair will start to fall. And I noticed right away that all the hair I had in front started dropping out. They said it grows back, but hold on a second. The cat's going to be annoying until I let him out of there. What are you doing in there? How'd you get in there? Why are you in there? It's because you got to be everywhere you're not supposed to be. All right. So, yeah, I could wear different wigs for the stream. I could, Scott. So I thought I'd just give it a try. See if I'm okay with it. And eventually I'll grow it back. I'll let it grow back. If it grows back. There's the big question there. Let's bring Josh in. Josh, welcome to the stream.
What's going on, my brother?
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, could be a lot better.
Yeah? What's going on?
Yeah. Cold right now.
Yeah, it's cold up here. I could use a
Yeah.
little summer. Is winter over yet?
No. It's supposed to be like 39 down here uh Thursday.
See,
High.
it was 39 today. I think it might have been 40 today, which is nice because everything starts melting, especially after it's been 0. And now it's supposed to, toward the end of the week, we're supposed to get zeros, stuff like that. So it's going to get, we got a cold front coming in toward the end
Uh,
of the
we're supposed to possibly have snow this weekend, so
night.
it's always nice to have a little snow in the south. So
Yeah. So what else is going on in your life?
uh, depressing.
Yeah.
Uh, though I hate it. Barbara knows that the wife has been stepping out, and I don't even know where to start. Uh,
Yeah. I understand that, brother. Hey, Kalena. There's no place to start. It's you want to talk about it and you want to tell people what you're feeling, and then after a while, you're like, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I just have to endure it. I have to deal with it, and it's you got to start. I will tell you if this helps any, and this is why I'm talking about me now. If it helps any, it's that thought of this is the woman I have loved for 21 years, and suddenly you're faced with the complete change, and you're like, some of it is surprise. Not that we weren't tuned in. I was tuned into my wife. It's she surprised me with what she wanted to do. And as my son once said, they pull the plug and you're left to bleed out. And you don't know what to do with that. And me, I still don't know what to do with it. There's times I am here and I am lost in it. I've been in a funk all weekend, to put it lightly. And
uh,
um, there's still she still talks to me, wants to be friendly, wants to, but there's other things going on. Um, there's somebody else in the picture already. And I'm like, I'm together 21 years, and in 4 months, there's already somebody else. And those are the things my mind goes through. It's like, how did you do that? What? I couldn't do that. But you have to be of the mindset, well, I'm totally out of that, so I've got to look somewhere else. And I'll be honest, if you feel this, I don't wish her well. My heart says, I love you, but I want you to fail at this.
yep.
Um, I don't love it at all, and so I have to detach myself. I still want to be there. I
But
have to
you
be there
want,
because kids we're doing joint custody, so my kids will be here half the time, there half the time, and
it,
but I'm telling you what, I understand if that's what you're going through. I get it because you're like, when did you decide you didn't want me anymore? And of
I,
course, she insists, I love you deeply. I'm just not in love with you anymore. And that's the thing that was really hard to deal with. And there's no talking from anybody that helps. It talks you to talk about it, but it doesn't talk because nobody can comfort you. Nobody can help you through it.
yep.
And you look at it and you say, this is the woman I built up everywhere, and everybody knew how much I loved my wife,
Oh yeah.
and they knew us. And all of a sudden, it's night and day. And what do you do with that? So,
Yeah, I mean, 16 years, and all of a sudden it's like, boom. gone. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm gonna have to find a new place and and somewhere to a
Jeremy
friend's
had time.
house
Yeah. Well,
until everything gets split up and everything like that.
right.
It's
Right.
just a headache.
And it's depressing. It knocks you on your ass and you don't know what to do with it. And you're like, I want to talk about it, but talking about it doesn't help.
No,
Uh,
it don't.
but you need to talk about it. But then,
It
and
just
so,
makes it worse.
yeah. So Susie Q says it's like a death and it takes time to deal with the loss. That's the truth.
Yep.
And words come from a compassionate place, but they're still just words, says Lucky Stone. That's it. It's the actions. It's like I found that I was pushing her away by trying to draw her close. Um, Offering up the emotional side, the hey, we can do this, we can work this, we can make things
We,
work, but that doesn't work. Um, and she's already 2 feet out the door with, I think, barely even a pinky on the doorknob anymore. Would I take her back at this point? Yeah. However, well, that's what I say automatically because I've always said all the way along, my door's going to remain open, but there's going to be a point where it's not open anymore.
oh yeah.
And I'm stymied at how fast my life changed from one thing to another. And I'm 4.5 months into it now, but the divorce isn't even final. We haven't even been to court yet. Um, it's in Wisconsin. They have a 4 month of 120-day waiting period from the day you file until it goes live. Our 120th day was December 28th. And so a little over 2 weeks ago, well, about 2 weeks ago. And so now we're waiting to hear from the court. When are they going to have us in front of the judge? What's going to happen there? Is it going to be one and done because we agreed to everything jointly? And with my wife, it's just her belief that she needs to be independent and free and live her own life. And she's got the echo chamber that's supporting her. And it's sad because she doesn't want to listen to anybody who wants to offer anything different. And it's disheartening, and it leaves me in the position you're in now. And you don't know what to do with that other than, okay, I hate people telling me, Scotty, you'll get through this. You'll make it. You got to do, and none of that matters because you're the one in it. And I got
Oh
to live this every day. And,
yeah.
you know,
That echoes almost like Kim, my wife now. Uh, it's an echo chamber out there at that hospital. Uh, Nothing but women. So they just yap, yap, yap. And it's ridiculous. And this ain't the first time she's did this. So
yeah. Well, and that's what you're left with. So, Pamela, welcome. She said it's humiliating. She said she was humiliated and embarrassed. That's exactly what it is, Pamela. There is a. I was looking for a different word than that, but this is the person I poured everything I was into, and everybody knew her with the radio stuff, the book stuff, all the notoriety stuff, and everybody knew us.
she
And
made me great tumblers and I mean
oh,
everything
that's right.
else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. She made you tumblers. I did the art for those.
yeah.
Well, got them ready, and it's humiliating because it's like, this is that person I put forward so much to promote her and us and everything she ever did, any business she ever did, promoting her, putting her forward. And yet, this is where you are. And it's humiliating because, as she told me, she wants to find somebody younger, her own age, to take care of her. This all hit her when I was in the middle of being sick all last year. And it just drained her. I understand that side of it. I don't listen to the grievances. Oh, well, this and this and this were the problems with you. Not that I don't try to validate her feelings, but at the same time, validating feelings is different than agreeing. I don't agree with your premise. I wasn't those things. But it seemed a need on her part to villainize in order to justify her escape because she needed something different. And that something different was, as she said, as sick as I was this last year, and as much as she had to take care of me, which she was there every fucking minute taking care of me for 9 months. And it wore her down to nothing. And I didn't lord it over her. I was just not capable. I was so drugged up and I was so surgerized, so many surgeries and so much crap. And she was there. And it wasn't until that was January through August. And then August, she announced the divorce. And I'm like, what? And what can I do? And then I felt I'm in this position where I can't do anything to show her anything different because I was still sick. I was still not able to get up. I wasn't able to walk barely across the room, let alone try to show her, well, this is what I am now. Let me take that back over and
be the patriarch and
right. So Roger said I started having minor doubts creep into my mind as she distanced herself from the Sunday morning show. Always made me wonder if something was amiss. Oh, well, me too. I thought, well, what? And she said, I just don't feel like it. It was what she'd tell me. So anyway, I'm not here to complain about my wife. I'm not here to complain about what she's done, what she's doing. I could never do that to someone.
Well, I see where you and Rocky are starting up a new
we
show.
Are. Rocky and I are going to start up a new show. We're going to do Cognitive Chaos, it's called. For those of you who don't know, Rocky Stucci and I are going to do a new radio show together. And then I'm going to revive my Robertson with Wendy Robertson. And she's in London. And we're going to start our show up again. That's probably just one day a week to start with, like we always did. So,
is that going to be on YouTube, or is it going to be just on that website?
Right. Oh, by the way, Carly, what do you mean by that? I'm missing the context. Or what was I saying when you responded that way? No, that's not it at all, and we know that, Scotty. So I missed something. I'm not sure what I was saying when you wrote that. Yeah, R&R, let's go, Robertson. Everybody's saying. And Rocky and I, again. And Field Guy, we do have to do an interview again, like a few years back. Here, I usually used to highlight these as I'm talking about it. R&R, let's go, says Steve. Finally, can't wait for you and Rocky again. Jay
Yeah,
here says women process a lot in the process. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
so,
yeah. It takes about 6 months down here. So
despite all the awfulness that's gone on, says Carly, oh, we know you're not here to speak bad about her. You've done nothing but speak highly of her. That's very true. I've never spoken ill of my wife. And when I have to private individuals, some of you know, I've talked to you. Um, I keep that private because it makes her look bad. And I don't want to make her look bad. And what I mean by that is, I don't need to tear her down. Now, I might speak truth at some point and say, this is what's going on and this is what happened. But at the same time, uh, yeah, there's a part of me that wishes there were people out there she trusted that she would listen to. Um, but she is doing that thing of canceling out anybody that isn't falling within her
circle.
echo chamber,
Yeah.
if you will. Her, if you don't, she's a smart woman, intelligent woman, but she's also not listening to anybody who has anything negative to say about what she's doing because she needs to justify what she's doing. And she would get really pissed at me for saying that. Well, you don't tell your side of it or her side of it. I said, I do an awful lot. I've been told that I'm a narcissist. I'm a gaslighter. I have been emotionally abusive to her for years. That I never took her on dates and always argued, never let her. I never validated her, but I would argue, like if she'd bring up something, and I'd say, "Well, Rainey, that's," and she's like hurt about it or upset, and I'd go, "Well, Rainey, I know you're upset and hurt. I can validate that, but I didn't do that. Can you give me an example of what I did?" And that was all. There you go again, and it would make her angry, and we never, ever, ever anywhere along the way got to talk about what the real problems were. What was I doing? And I would move right away from the conversation with her and I'd move into this kind of intellectual mode. I'd be like, I need to know, what can I do better? And what narcissist do you know looks at their wife and say, how can I be a better man for you? And it
Exactly.
ate me alive.
Excuse me.
So
So the first time I tried to get her to go to counseling with me, and she wouldn't have no part of it. And I was like,
right. Yeah. Well, I hear you, Josh, and I know I'm only talking about my stuff for you for the sake of maybe it helps you and you process your own things. And
"Oh yeah, I
well,
appreciate it."
what I feel about Rainey is that she needed to villainize me to justify what she wanted to do. And the thing that bothers me more is not that. It's like, why did she want to do that? Why do you want to? Well, she wants to experience freedom and independence and somebody closer to her age and sex and fun and excitement and novelty that she's not getting in the marriage. And
Well,
I thought
well,
she had all of that in our marriage.
uh, uh,
I'm not
I
too
mean,
obtuse, so
I mean, I got PTSD and all that, but
yeah.
uh, other than that, I mean, I've I, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
she's going towards a younger man too. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Rainey's 19 years younger. I'm 65. She's 45. She's almost 46. And it's that she's just like turned the switch off. And I asked,
uh,
was I that bad to you? I don't understand this. And this is where I have to stop and say it's not about me. It's about what she needs and what she wants. And I'm the one that has to be. I did not drive her away. She said, this has been going on for 5 years. And I said,
well,
we've had problems, but we've been together 21 years. These are the things you work through. And it confused me when she brought it all out. And then once she said it's over, I was given no opportunity to fix anything. Oh, I pulled the plug. And I'm like, can I have the opportunity to fix something? And she says, it's too late. I'm resolute. I'm already done. I've given you so many chances, hundreds of chances over the last few years. And I'm like, I didn't know those were chances to save my marriage. I thought they were things that you were saying I needed to work on, and let's improve this and work on it together. Instead, she was exiting the whole time. And
mm,
I don't understand that. I really don't. So that's if you find
well,
yourself in that position at all, Josh, that's
well,
where I am.
that
And there's no
that
one answer.
that almost sounds just like my situation.
Yeah.
It she said this has been going on for 3 years, and, blah 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 blah, and
Right. Now, I will say, Susie says 5 years. Oh my goodness. And I say, I think it's pretty evident that 5 years ago we were not in this position.
yeah,
When she brings up the
yeah,
negatives, I say, for every negative you're bringing up, I can bring up 3,000 positives from our marriage. And
yeah,
so
exactly.
it's it was really hard to understand, other than to say this is her thing that she's got to work through, and she may never work through it. It may be her own thing, and this is the way she is. Um, I'm as surprised as the world. And
Yeah,
I can tell you what, I was not a bad man to her. I was never cruel to her. Did we argue? Yeah. Hell yeah, we argued. But we also
hell,
made up.
hell, everybody argues. So,
Right. So yeah, Roger, this is I'm just I was floored by it. And yet there was a time, and she doesn't like me. I mentioned this once before. There was a time in the middle of this whole divorce, and I remember it was 4 months up until the just after Christmas, and there was one day she was working out in her room doing her Tai Chi stuff, and I came to the door and I said, "Hey, I got this and this and this to tell you about some stuff." And we're already in the divorce. She'd already announced it. We're already in it. And she's wearing little panties and a loose braless T-shirt, and looked good because she was exercising. But she came over and she gave me this little side look, which I always recognize that she was going to cry. She looks off to the side and kind of up, and her eyebrows go up, and I know she's going to cry. And she walked over and she put her arms around me, just embraced me tightly, and cried into my neck and said, I love you so much. And I went with it, and I wasn't going to exploit that moment. And I said, well, I love you too, and you know it. And then the next day, The wall was back up, cold as ice, because she realized she had opened up that way and she didn't want that to define where she was going with me. And so, and I would see things. It was kind of like it went like this. It would go up, down, but constantly like this. And the wall kept rising, and there'd be a little something. And then she'd say, well, I knew I shouldn't have said that because it gives you hope that I'm going to change my mind. She says, I'm not. I'm resolute. Okay.
Right before I got on here, mine said, we might not get a divorce. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm
Hold
like,
on. Go to that link, Angel, and that'll get you into here. So there was one thing, and I'm very cautious about how much I say, but this is just the truth without editorializing. I'll put it this simply. She's seeing somebody else already. And I said, you've already replaced me. I said, 20, how long? And she said, well, I started talking to him in October. Social media guy. And I said, October? When? And she's about the beginning of October. And I said, if I do the math, in the beginning of October, I was still in the hospital getting my leg cut off until the 9th of October. And she said, well, maybe it was a little bit after that. And I said, no, I think it was during that. And so without casting her as a criminal, the first thing you think is, what was I not giving her that she needed? Because I think I'm a pretty decent guy and I'm pretty in tune. So, and she says, look, I don't want to marry anybody. I'm not after a permanent relationship. I just want to go out and experience my life. I want to have excitement, the novelty, the sexual novelty, all of these things. And it's like, it's hurtful, and you don't know what to do with that. And my one reaction was, well, there's 21 years thrown away. And then that whole time, since she announced the divorce, I'm doing everything I can to show her. She says she loves me, and I believe it. She deeply loves me. She's just not in love with me. She doesn't have the romantic love. And I said, well, Rainey, that comes and goes. When you've been in a relationship this long, you work those things through together. And she said, I don't feel that fire with you anymore, and I want to go find it somewhere else. Okay, I can't change your mind. And getting mad or angry, that doesn't change anything. That makes me a bad person. So I need to. And as Steph, I say thrown away because it feels like, well, what I said to her at the time, I said, don't I feel a little foolish? I said, I've been working for the last several months trying to win back your love. Like, not the deeper love, the romantic love. You can fall in love with me again. But no, I couldn't because there was already somebody else in play. Now, they're not a couple. It's just somebody else. And it's impossible trying to win the affections of somebody that's already replaced you somewhere else. And
that's what I'm figuring out right now. So
yeah. And she would probably be angry. I told her, I said, I do not badmouth you on my radio show. She says, you're always talking. You're always talking about me, always bad mouthing me. And I said, Rainey, I have not bad mouthed you. I'm going to talk truth. And there's some people that might look at that and go, wow, that was really a nasty thing you did to your husband. But at the same time, that is, there's Angel. How you doing? At the same time, it's like, if you're going to do it, why are you afraid of, and this whole thing is public, what's wrong with people knowing what you're doing? That's my way of healing my way through this. And and I hate doing it because I don't want her to look like, there's a part of me that is so wrapped up in Rainey that if I damage her in public, I feel like I'm damaging myself. Because I committed to her on that level. And so.
Because you're a real man and you understand, you're a real man and you understand that she put herself also when you're in need in that situation. And it's a thing of feelings. If you weren't realistic about, the last, years you've had with her, you probably wouldn't care, but you both love each other. It's just, life happens. And,
Right.
but you're a real man. And this is the way men handle situations like this. And I don't want to get too deep into my personal thing. When my mother was passing away, I was engaged and I had to end that relationship because my fiance, she wanted me to take her and spend more time with her than when my mother, who was dying of cancer. And I told her no. I said, my mother's passing away soon. I'm going to spend as much time helping her because she brought me into this world. We had an argument, relationship ended. Doesn't mean I don't love her and I didn't love her, but it was something that she brought that split us apart. But I wouldn't trash her either. So I hats off to you, man, because that's you don't do that in public because there's still love there.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, happens. That's how life is. Life, like Forrest Gump said, it is a box of chocolates, and you never know
Right.
what you're gonna get. That's the
Never
truth.
know what you're going to get. And
By the way, not to interrupt, but I just want to let you know, I mean it when I say we're in the same club.
there you go.
For
There it is.
anybody in the chat who thought I was messing around, when my brother cried, I laughed and I said, "If it happens to me, I'm just shaving it, bro." And here, I'm 48 years old now, and attacking the bald heads. Me and Scotty.
There it
Rollins.
is.
There you go.
Well, I'm
I'm
65.
I'm the only one. I'm the only one with hair. 41 years old. So,
Well, I'm 65 and I had hair until, well, I shaved it all off. But this last year, it really fell out after that intubation stuff. And I don't know if that's what it is. Maybe shaving it, it'll grow back better. I don't know. Or maybe
Didn't
it'll
work.
just go back
It
just
didn't
as
work
tall.
for me.
So,
By the way, I love the Captain Kirk top.
thank you.
I'm a huge Trekkie, and I
Yeah.
love cool. I love Trekkie, and I love Star Wars. I love both. I'm one of the rare ones, but I do collect, and I wanted to show you this as part of the reason too, lighten the mood a little bit. Also, because you know, life is love, and we live in the present, a gift by God. Correct or no?
Correct.
There we go.
yes.
So as long as my friend here, Scotty, has good health, otherwise, from what we know, I hope he lives long and prosper. And I want to show him this right here.
Oh, very nice. It's your captain's
Oh,
insignia from the movies.
Right. This is
yes.
from our good now deceased
Ah,
Leonard Nimoy, right there.
Oh, wow.
And since you have Captain Kirk on there, check this bad boy out.
oh, very nice.
Oh,
50th
I
anniversary.
have all of my Trek memorabilia, my phasers, my communicators, my good ones, my props are all packed in boxes somewhere. I haven't even unpacked yet. Somebody else because I
See,
was
yeah.
incapacitated. My wife had her and her friend packed all my stuff up, and can I find it all? No.
Mm.
So I couldn't get down to my studio or anything, so they did all that, and so finding where things are right now, it's amazing. Only one guy moved out of our house, me. I couldn't imagine if it was my whole family. It was nightmarish getting all my stuff. There's so many things. Well, you got 21 years of stuff, and it's all integrated,
Hmm.
and it's all so going through and getting that all out, and um, getting it in here and prepping for my three kids because I'll have my three kids half the time. Anyone want my Star Trek trivia game? I do, Pamela. You have to bring it over though. So
We're going to turn this into the Scotty Roberts Trek night at the end.
there's well, you got Captain Stuart Foley right here. He's got Trek Yards
There we
right
go.
here on
Oh,
YouTube. Good show. You're gonna have to, if you haven't seen it, go check him out, Captain Foley.
I'll definitely put that on my list.
Yep. Scotty, I might have to move up there with you. So
Yeah. Well, I'll have three kids, three teenagers half the time. So it'll be
well,
interesting.
that would
Which I don't
bother me.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. Bring your game. We'll play a Star Trek game, Pamela. So that'd be kind of fun. I'm over in New Richmond. I'm not too far.
Well, guys, I'm gonna jump off here. Y'all
Right
have a
on.
good
See you,
night.
Josh. Thanks for coming. I hope anything I had to say was helpful at all. So
It was. I appreciate it.
it is for the moment, and then you get back in the dark and the quiet, and you're like, I'm fucked. And you
I
don't
know.
feel good. Nothing anybody says really makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Well, it helped at the moment. So
Nice to meet you, Josh, by the way.
nice to meet you, brother.
Stuart Foley, I wish you lived closer too. I'd have you over.
I'm down in Miami, Florida, so it'll take me a little
Oh,
while.
there you go. Yeah. I'm up here in the Great White North. And for those of you who haven't seen it, that haven't been here for a while, I'm just going to back out of there for a second. There she is. So there's my my fake leg and a carbon fiber, and it's working all right. So
You're
that's
getting around better than me, man. I'm telling you.
Huh?
I
You've
mean,
got two,
I'm
right?
amazed. Huh?
Do you have two?
No, I have issues because I have a broken back and my
Okay.
circulation's bad, so I walk with a walker now, and I'm 48.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody
But
else was writing me and saying they had two.
No,
So I don't
also
know.
was just diagnosed with diabetes, and my aunt lost her legs to diabetes a few years before my mom passed. So I'm on that edge. You never know.
Yeah.
So,
Kalina, I pretty much it's the daily stuff as you start doing things like, oh, I'm gonna clean my toilet. Oh, wait, I don't have a toilet brush. Things like that, that you realize you don't have, or a spatula. I don't have a spatula. Well, Risa Scranton, by the way, sent me Laird Scranton, if you know him, author. Risa sent me a cookware set, pots and pans, and brand new, and had a spatula and a spoon in it. So that was cool. But Kalana, you know what I'm really needing is I've got somebody that's going to be getting me some stuff, but my kids' rooms. I'm setting up my kids' rooms, and they've got rooms already at our old house, which is now Rainey's house, and mattresses and bed frames and dressers and lamps and all that stuff, for kids. And I'm talking teenagers, 16, 14, and 11. And so I'm trying to get that stuff in. I have my friend Heather Marie locally, who has a warehouse in her own building she owns and lives in, that somebody who collects furniture and gives it to people who need it. And I hate to put it this way. Am I in need Yeah. Am I needy? Yeah, probably. For the first time in my life, really needy. I went all of last year, for those who have not heard this, I couldn't work all year. Uh, and you'd think I could work because I sit at my computer and I design, or my art table and I draw and paint, or I write. But with all the stuff, physical stuff going on, from the trachea to the what eventually ended up taking my leg, all of that, I'm on meds the whole time. I'm practically a stoned zombie, and not able to think, to write, to draw. Communication was okay, but it was like a man with dementia.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a
and
similar issue myself, Scotty, and besides the stuff that you guys know about that I just mentioned, I also have lupus and vitiligo. That's the
Yeah,
discoloration here, and
sure.
lupus is horrible. It's an autoimmune disease. I've had it for many years,
Yeah.
and there's moments with my medication where I'm like zombied out, and I hate taking it. I
Ha!
hate it. Yeah,
Ken Ballo said it. A maid. That's what I need around the house.
there you go.
I told that to Pamela Zaspel, who's in the chat room. Um, I said something. I posted a picture of. If any of you have seen the series that came out a few years ago, American Horror Story, that first season there was a ghost that was a redheaded maid, a sexy redheaded maid, in the little maid outfit. And I put up a picture. Pamela said, you need a maid. And I said, yes, I do. And I put up this picture. I said, she just sent me an application. Should I consider it? Pamela said, you've had enough of that. You need a better maid than that. So, yeah. Aunt B. Oh, she told me I needed Aunt B. Ain't B.
Aunt B.
From
There
Andy
you
Griffith.
go.
And, you'd get good fried chicken. So if it was Aunt B, so she'd cook for you. I'd take an Aunt B if she was going to cook. Aunt B, what's for dinner? So, yeah. Sexy maid, redhead with sexy black maid outfit and apron and all that, and
Tight leather outfit.
They're like, let me pick up your slippers for you.
There you go.
Oh, thank you for my slippers. I'm
go.
a guy. Cut me some slack.
Now, if they have a slight British accent, that also helps.
This one didn't. I think a British maid would be interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
I was talking to Wendy about that.
Yeah. Maybe Switzerland. Yeah. I'll pick up your slippers. Yeah.
I don't want a German one. I had that nightmarish episode I had in the hospital a few years ago where they did some kind of angio thing, and they ran it's where they run the camera on the coat hanger up through your crotch all the way to your heart, and then you got to lay there for like 2 hours and not move when they're done. And I had to poo. Oh, did I have to poop? And I'm like, I gotta poop. I'm getting up. I get pushed down. No, you cannot get up. You will bleed out if that breaks. And I'm like, come on. And yeah, Scottish. There you go, Kalina. I need a Scottish maid. If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, let me know. I'm thinking Mike Myers from So I Married an Axe Murderer. He played his own Scottish father. But
man, I haven't seen the movie in a long time. That's a very underrated movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the hospital. I got to poop. And the what I'm getting at is I had this little Muslim nurse, and she was all in her shibab or whatever, the hijab and robes and stuff, and they're all throw back the covers, and I'm naked to the world, and they're putting their pressure on my crotch. And I'm like, my junk is right there, and I got to poo, and now you're pushing on my lower abdomen and my crotch. I said, this will not do. And then they bring in this, it sounds stereotypical comic, but it was like Brunhilde the big burly, German maid, German nurse, and oh, you will bleed out. We must. And she puts her elbow in my crotch, and she's putting all her weight on it. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I said, do you know I'm going to shit the bed if you keep pushing on my crotch? And I said, we have a bedpan here for you. And she's like, Sila, get him his bedpan. And they bring out this big old bedpan. It looks like a Doberman water dish, and I'm like, I said, ladies, with all due respect, and I'm panting for breath because she's got her elbow in my crotch, applying pressure. With all due respect, I said, I am not going to shit in a bedpan in front of 3 women because I had 3 nurses there now. And naked to the world, which didn't faze me anymore at that point, but 3 women, nurses. And she goes, here. And she, and she's got her elbow, and then she goes, whoop, lifts my leg and slides the bedpan and her goes back down. And I'm like, oh my God, that was a slick move. You've done this before. And finally, I could hold it no more. And I said, all right, ladies, you asked for it. Olay! I said, and I yelled out. And it was like just kaboosh.
Ooh.
And it's like I filled that entire bedpan. And remember, you've been on meds and stuff. You've been under and surgery and all that. And it just everything.
I bet
And
that smelled like
sat.
I bet it smelled like the Great Depression when all that came out.
And it was like I sat there with my ass cheeks, 4 inches deep in liquid defecate, and they're still applying pressure. I'm like, well, but all of a sudden I'm calm now because it's done, and I'm not panicking anymore. I go, well, I said, was that good for you? I said, anybody got a smoke? And you can't smoke in here. I said, I wasn't serious, and so it was. They cleaned me up after a while, and by that point I could do it. I said, I can wipe my own ass. Now they must get this for you. And one of the more humiliating, humbling moments of my life. And it's funny, the 2 funniest stories I have since this all started was two stories of shitting somewhere and shitting my pants because I'm crawling across the living room floor after they had cut off half of my foot. And I'm alone in the house. I'm crawling across the living room. And everybody, I told that story once before. And so, well, glad. It's an epic story. It definitely is. And Pamela, yeah, there is. I got more to go. Bring your Star Trek game over. I'll brew coffee. We'll play Star Trek.
I'm just happy I'm on the video with you while you're telling the story. This is great.
And sometimes you have to. This is what I have had a hard time. I can't convert the divorce stuff into comedy yet. It's still too harsh and hard. And but other stuff that's happened, I can convert it into comedy real easy. And you just go with it. And oh, Carly's gonna have an asthma attack.
That's what life is, man. Life throws all kinds of weird scenarios on you. Let me share one that hopefully it won't be as funny as yours, I don't think, but we share one mutual thing. We were free balling to the world.
Yep.
In our I had a tumor on my right side of my groin. Not in the actual groin, but it was like in the in between area, the thigh and the groin, that little area. It was about that big.
Holy
and it was pretty big. And so I went in to get it removed, and the doctor comes in, gentleman. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I feel comfortable. Guy, and then he goes, the ladies are gonna do the removal, and I'm like, oh God. Are gonna, they're my main nurses, they're specialists, and the ladies come in, gorgeous young women, and I'm like humiliated already as it is. Exposed. my legs are spread open. Unfortunately, the way the table or that I was laying in, the bed, was facing the door. So when anybody would open the door, anybody passing around in traffic would have a view of my crotch. And they decided to open and walk in and out as the procedure was going on. And the whole time I'm like, "Can somebody please just keep the door locked?" And
Can you
please,
not have so many people coming in and out?
yeah, por favor. And people be walking by like, "What the heck is going on?" And they're looking in. And the worst thing is when they walked in, one of the main nurses who was doing the procedure, she looks at me, she goes, "Oh my God, I haven't seen one that big before." And then I'm like, "Well, and she goes, I mean the tumor." And I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
I'm not making that up. That's a true story.
It's so
that
big.
conversation, I'll never forget it.
You,
Yeah.
No, I meant the tumor.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So,
New
Pamela,
level
you
of
might just have to do
humiliation.
that someday. And you don't have to wait too long. Just put it on your schedule and make it so.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say too? Oh, just about, for those of you who don't know the other story, I'll just tell you. I had gone in, they had to take off after the leg was already healing before they had to cut it off. It was healing, but they hadn't gone down into the foot and taken care of the arteries and down in the foot. And so the foot started to go bad, and they ended up cutting off my big toe. And then 3 weeks later, the rest of them, they all went necrotic. And I'm like, why is my foot going necrotic? I thought you fixed my leg. Well, they didn't get down into the arteries that went all the way down into my foot. And so that went bad. And I remember at the time praying and saying, "God, you saved my leg, but now you're going to let him take it off incrementally, bit by bit." And that's where I told him, I said, if this is going to happen, I said, this is representing 2 or 3 more surgeries. I've already been laid up for 8 months. I said, just take the leg. Go up to the clean tissue and take it off. And I looked at my doc and I said, and many of you have heard this, but I looked at him and I said, just give me peg leg. And I said, well, and so on. And I talked in my best Captain Barbosa voice for a while, and he laughed and he said, "Well, I can save the leg. Give me an opportunity." And I'm like, okay, save the leg, save it all. Well, he couldn't. And that last few weeks, all I did was bleed for almost 3 weeks. It would not heal. It would not anything. And they had me on blood thinners because of the healing leg. Finally, they just said, yeah, we're going to have to, that was, by the time that came was October. Yeah, we're going to have to take the leg. So I told you so. I'm not even a doctor. And, but in the meantime, in the middle of all that, I had one of those surgeries where they took out the toes, all wrapped up. Rainey picks me up at the doctor, drops me back at the house, and says, I got to get kids from school. Let me get you in the house. And I said, no, it's a gorgeous, sunshiny day. I'm not going in the house. I said, I'm going to sit here on this metal chair outside. I'm going to soak up some sun, maybe have a smoke, do something. And, okay, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, I'm good. And I'm still on anesthesia, having things cut off and all that. It was an outpatient cutting off of my toes. And so there I sit. And of course, I'm sitting there. Like the other story, my body says, hey, let's poop. And I'm like, oh, no, you don't. And of course, I can't walk yet because I don't know how to walk. I have a crutch I've never used. So our doorway was, if you have our garage, you go up the sidewalk from the garage to the front door, and the front of the house is there. And so I'm walking along on this wall to the front door. I got a crutch under one arm. Can't make it work. I'm carrying it under my arm, and I'm feeling it and supporting myself, hobbling. And I get inside the door. The dogs are jumping on me. And I'm like, no. and I try to shoo him away. I didn't hit him with the crutch. I'm trying to shoo him with the crutch, and I trip, fall, thump, down on the floor. And I was laying there, and I still got to poop. And so I'm laying there. And many of you have heard this version of this story. I told it not long ago, but they were clearing out my studio and the master bedroom and putting in bedrooms for friends of Rainey's. She was moving in there, a woman and her 2 teenage sons. And so all of my stuff was up in the living room, and they're clearing things out. But there's boxes all over, and I'm on the wood floor, and I'm trying to make it to the bathroom. And I can't get up. I can't do a push-up. I can't do anything. And I'm crawling like this, my hands flat on the floor, and just pulling myself forward, trying to get to the bathroom. And the whole time I'm thinking, hang on, bowels, just hang on. We're getting there. Hang on. And when Rainey looked back at the video of what happened, she said I was laying there motionless for about 6 minutes. So I don't know if I knocked up, passed out. I don't know what happened. So I'm crawling to the bathroom.
Probably just pure shock. I mean,
Yeah, and I
quick when you're in shock. You spaz out for what feels a minute. It's like 5 minutes pass. And
right.
Feel it. Yeah.
So I get around the corner, and I'm working my way down the hallway, and I get to the bathroom, and I still can't stand up. I can't get up on my knees because of this surgery. So I couldn't, because they surgeryed the leg and all that. I was still healing from the leg. And so I make it to the toilet, and I'm pulling myself up on the toilet. Just, you're wrapped around, and I'm pushing and just trying to pull myself up. And I had no body strength. And of course, right there, my body says, oh, okay, you're at the toilet. Release the hands. And it was just, and it was another one of those. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And, did Steph take off? Is Steph gone? She's off to bed. Way to go, Steph. Couldn't hold out. Couldn't hold on till the end. So I made it. And then that's the rest of the story is it's all over everywhere. I had shorts on and
Ooh.
And so it was a mess. Loose-legged cargo shorts. And, think of what happens when your bowels release and there's nothing holding it back, and it's everywhere. And that's the rest of the story I don't need to get into because it's a little heart-wrenching. But
yeah, the cleanup part, I'm sure, gets really messy.
Well, as I'm sitting there, that's when Rainey gets back home.
Oh.
I hear her come in the front door, and I'm like, oh, no. I'm trying to get wads of toilet paper and wipe the floor up, and I can't reach it. I can't move. I can't hardly do anything. And she comes to the door. She's, you okay in there? I go, I'm fine.
Oh, God.
And I was not fine. And this is, midway through all this divorce stuff. And she's opens the door. I'm coming in. I'm like, no, don't come in. Don't come in. And she comes in, and it's a mess. Everything. And I'm just almost in despair. And she picks me up and cleans me up. And I'm like, don't do that. I can do that part. I got this. And wraps a towel around me, walks me to my big chair in the living room. And she goes back in there and cleans up the bathroom. And you talk about, yeah, Ken, that was the shit story. And so she took care of me. And so that's still the hard part about all of this, is she was there the whole time and helped and did things. So anyway, I don't want to get into that again. I got to start wrapping this up because
well, remember, Scotty, again, mutual love, it transcends even being in love.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to be in love to love somebody.
And that's what that was.
Unconditional
that was
love.
Her love demonstrating without even thinking about it, loving me deeply, even though she didn't want to have romantic love with me anymore.
Yeah.
And so
you got to honor that, brother. You got to. I mean, regardless of your divorce,
Yep.
Like, like that's what life is. And at least when you needed somebody there, she was there. My mom, going back to her when she passed, she had been divorced from my dad for about nearly 16, 15 years. My
Wow.
dad spent every moment in the hospital with her the last 3 months in
Oh boy.
hospice.
Yeah.
Like, even when me and my brother couldn't be there, my dad was there.
Nice.
And he was divorced for years.
Yeah.
And he was married
Because he
after
loves her.
yeah,
He
and
loved her
he looked at me and he said, "That's your mom. I spent 30 years with her. I love her, regardless if I'm married to her or not."
regardless. Yeah.
And I mean, God bless him. He's still with me, so God bless that he's here. But that's called unconditional love, my brother. And
It is.
yeah,
It
and
is.
God bless you that you're getting healthier.
See you, Barbie D.
And
Thank you.
whatever life brings, remember, whatever door shuts at the end, there's a new one opening. And you're looking healthier, which is a blessing to the Lord. And now you've joined a brand new club. Welcome.
There it
you know
is.
yes, you're part of the
For
cool
now,
club now. You're the cool kids.
I'll grow it back and it'll be all long and wavy again.
Oh
I'll be
man, I
able to go
miss.
like this in the wind.
I had long hair and used to go into an afro when I was a kid, Scotty. I'll show you some pictures in private later because I don't want to
Yeah.
humiliate myself too much here.
It's all
But
right.
it's funny stuff. And when you see the difference, you're going to be like, oh my God. But you know what? Life is what it is. You move on, you move forward, and you just make the best of what you have.
Hold on
You know
one
what I mean?
second. Pamela, good to have you here. The Ambien is kicking in, she says. Good to have you here. I'm glad you were here. I'll talk to you soon. Pamela is an old high school classmate of mine. So,
Cool.
uh,
Well, God bless you. I'll let you end. That's all I wanted to
all right,
have
Angel.
there.
Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks for calling in.
No, it's
All right.
been an honor of mine to be on the air with you, brother.
My honor.
Keep going, and keep up the great work. You're awesome.
I
Just
will.
remember that.
I will,
God
brother.
loves you, and so do the rest of us.
There it is. All right,
Take
brother.
care.
Talk to you
Bye.
soon. All right, folks. Guess what? Pamela, unless you want to call in, I'll save you a spot here for a second. And you don't have to either. I'm just being funny, I think. So I'm going to wrap this up for tonight, guys. Remember, the captain's log is about 10 minutes every night. This is the old captain's cabin, the way we had it after the radio show every night. And we'd go for an hour to an hour and a half. And Uncle Dave was always here, who has passed on. And Reuben Fasthorse was here quite a bit. And we had Professor Bauer was here a lot. And Patrick, Jason Patrick was here. And we also had, who was some other time. That's okay, Pamela. I get it. There were other people that would come in too. And why can't I think of her name now? Because I haven't talked to her in over a year. Anyway, so we're going to try to do this a little more often. Captain's cabin after the show, kind of an after show thing. And I want to thank you for being here. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. And if you say them, they will come. So, Sarah Yusuf, that's it. I was going to say Sarah, and I couldn't think of her last name, so I wasn't sure if I should even say Sarah. So, I don't know whatever happened to her. So, she used to come out quite regularly, too, in the captain's cabin. So, Pamela, you're interesting. Come on. So, you come on and we'll talk a little bit, and we'll see what sometime when you're ready for it. Come on and we'll talk, and you can share your non-interesting self with everybody else. If I could do it, you could do it. So everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for inhabiting my chat room tonight. Means a lot to me that you'd be here, and seeing a lot of the old faces from the old days over a year ago. So I will talk to you all soon. Let's sign off. And remember, as we say, Yes, this is on daily now, Kalina. I'm only doing the captain's log. I do every night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. And it's only about 15 minutes tops. And it was just kind of a daily thing I started in the middle of the summer. And now, back in this format, we're just staying open and doing the captain's cabin again, which was, for those of you who don't know, that was our after show. After we were on radio with Intrepid Radio, we'd go off air and we'd stick around in YouTube and we do the captain's cabin. So that's what we're doing now. Roger, good night. Good to have you here. He says, good night, everyone. And yes, Kalina, we're on daily now. So that's it. So I'm just going to tell you, without any fanfare, stay the course. And we'll talk soon.